So, remember how big of a film the original Ghostbusters was?
Are you a god?
No.
Then die.
Well, yeah, like, one thing that we can also think, like, what if we decide to, have a cartoon to, in a way, like, connect it to?
It's him. Okay, let's earn some money.
I remember you.
Egon, move!
No, not again.
What?
Well, that ended up happening, but there was two different shows called Ghostbusters. And they both ended up, coming out in 1986. Well, like, say, the idea of, like, say, two different shows along with the idea of ghost busting. But there was, like, one that was basically a live action show that went in the way get a sequel show back in 1975.
She loves you not.
It would, like, say, okay, we're going to try and do a sequel because of the popularity of Ghostbusters. So it was done by Filmation. That show starred F. Troop pals Forrest Tucker and Larry Storch as a pair of bumbling detectives, and the next name's Kong and Spencer, who traveled the world hunting ghosts with the aid of Tracy the Gorilla. Then what happened was, Columbia Pictures said, hey, can we use this name? And then that's how we got the film. Like, after that, they, like, film, and then they decided to say, hey, we're gonna, like, make an animated series based on that. So, with, characters of Kong, Spencer, and Tracy the Gorilla.
What's that?
And then, meanwhile, at Columbia, they decided to say, hey, we're going to make a, like a cartoon based on, like, these characters called The Real Ghostbusters. And it started on September 13th, 1986. Honestly, like, looking back, you can see quite a bit of a difference between these shows. And that, like, like, hey, one show has, like, two bumbling guys, but then they have a gorilla that helps them out.
That's my specialty.
Who said that? Sheriff Stumbleweed?
The same, but don't be scared. Remember, I told you I'm a good ghost.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, everybody makes mistakes.
Whereas the real Ghostbusters, like, these are characters that we know from the film, in a way. And for those of us that, like, I didn't have the opportunity growing up to watch the show, mostly because I was, this show had came out, was, past my time. So, yeah, like, when you look back at it, like, there's two different shows, and honestly, I'm going to say it's quite surprising, like, say, like, a cartoon that's all trying to, like, even though it came out in the 70s, they're trying to say, hey, after the success of a film called Ghostbusters, let's bring our property back to see if fans or kids would be interested in our cartoon just as much as they would be interested in Columbia's.
Too much supernatural energy in this place. I can't zero in on him.
We'd better do something about him fast. We might not be so lucky next time.
There's only one way to destroy the boogeyman. Do you have the ghost bomb I told you to bring, Ray?
So at the same time, I understand the idea of competition, but at the same time, I'm going to say, I like the idea of, like, there's these two different shows involving the idea of, like, say, hey, let's hunt ghosts. And yeah, like, they're different in different way. Real Ghostbusters would have, like, sometimes they'd have moments of spookiness in a way.
The night is young, and we have much to do. Much to do to make sure that Halloween never ends. That from this moment on, the world shall know only eternal night.
And yeah, I think, again, you kind of have to, because it's based off of the films more or less. And then in 1989, you would also have the, like, Ghostbusters 2. And the real Ghostbusters would last a little bit longer. Last until October 5th, 1991. Yeah, there was a bit of a dispute between Filmation and Ghostbusters, so one thing that the Ghostbusters show, one thing it did was it ran from September to December 5th, 1986, and produced only 65 episodes.
Who find fathers and save the future?
Who? Who finds fathers and saves the future?
Maybe the answer is on the next piece of the stone.
Tracy's tablet tracer will figure out where it is. But first, we better get Fuddy back to King Arthur.
He'll probably have Merlin turn me into a frog when he sees this.
And, like, when it comes on video, it's mostly referred to as Ghostbusters. Or also known as Filmation's Ghostbusters. Because, there would be a bit of confusion in a way. And yeah, I kind of say that, like, the idea of, like, two different shows, like, one based around the films, because, that's what probably was more well known at the time. Because, I'm going to be honest, probably not many people with the 1975 were probably thinking, like, say, hey, let's remember the 1975 show? Kids at the time were probably be thinking, like, say, hey, I want to see more of the adventures of Ray, with Peter, Egon, Ray, and Winston, and also Janine at times.
No, let them pass. I will deal with these personally.
And you said they wouldn't be glad to see us.
Whatever Egon's doing, I wish he'd hurry up.
And maybe even sometimes with Slimer. So yeah, like, I kind of like the idea that there was two different shows that, they would have their own special, like, thing that made them different from the other. But, did you ever watch either of these shows? I bet a lot of folks have probably watched the real Ghostbusters, and heck, even later, the Extreme Ghostbusters. See you next time.